What's up guys, it's Criddle here from the AnimeBallZ team with a This Is. The first This Is in a while that I've done, since December I think, and if I'm wrong then, oh well, that's beside the point. Anyway, this time is a series that has copped us nothing but flagged videos over the years and has become a running joke of repeating the name of this series multiple times as much as possible. This time, this is Fairy Tail, Fairy Tail, Fairy Tail, Fairy Tail, Fairy Tail. Let's see him flag this one. And in order to look at Fairy Tail, we need to go and get ourselves completely
off the tracks.
So Fairy Tail is the story of Lucy Heartfilia, who is a young mage who uses celestial spirits, which means she essentially opens gates and monsters and fighters will come out and fight on her behalf, so she doesn't have to actually get involved in the action itself, which is kind of suitable for her character because she's not a physically strong character. Anyway, she wants to join a guild called, you guessed it, Fairy Tail, which is known as one of the greatest guilds in the world. So she's going about trying to find one of the members of this amazing guild and is pursuing this character referred to as Salamander. So she arrives in this port city and this guy named Salamander intrigues her. She goes up to him and she's completely enamored with this guy, but it's very quickly revealed that he is not Salamander. He is an imposter that is just using the name to get women and abduct them and sell them off into slavery. I think that's what he's trying to do. Doesn't get that far into it because Natsu, the real Salamander, shows up with his buddy Happy and they come and save Lucy from this guy, and he says, hey, why don't you come join our guild? After this point, it's very quickly revealed that Fairy Tail is actually a notorious guild for causing the most amount of damage to property when completing a quest, essentially. Guilds in the Fairy Tail universe essentially are there, Fairy Tail being one of the guilds, are there to complete missions and jobs and quests that people pay them for. So they'll go out and capture bad people or guard something, or whatever someone needs them to do is what they will do. So it comes in very handy for these characters to do all this sort of stuff and the misadventures that come along with that. Natsu can't travel on a vehicle without getting sick. He gets very bad motion sickness. So that comes into play quite a bit. Lucy has all her stuff. Every character in this series does have their own little quirks and twerks. You know, Lucy's just this not titular character, but just titular character, who is just there along for the ride. Happy is this little cat thing that's like loves to have fun. Natsu has his motion sickness, as I mentioned, and we're introduced to a menagerie of other characters, which is a classic Hiro Mashima thing to do. You can't make a series with just 5 or 6 core characters, you need to make at least 15 of them. That's always fun. So all the characters, similar to One Piece, have their own quirks, as I mentioned. Gray, who's introduced a little bit later on, gets naked periodically just for the sake of getting naked, and Urza is, for whatever reason, obsessed with wedding dresses and really girly things, despite the fact that she is one of the most badass people in the world. I don't want to go too far into the characters because I can literally just keep spouting these off. Wendy, Gajeel, all these other people. I stopped after 2, great. But yeah, all these fantastic characters that make this series fantastic and excellent fun to watch. But enough about the plot and the characters, because really the plot is one that allows the series to really grow and develop in whatever direction it wants, because they're completing quests and missions, so they can have an entire arc on something and then completely jump to something different, and it doesn't hurt the flow of the story, which is really, really good. But anyway, enough about that. Let's get to the voice actors behind these fantastic characters as we look at
The good, the bad, and the dubbers.
So Lucy is voiced by Cherami Lee. Cherami Lee is also the voice of Alicia from Full Metal Alchemist, Setsuna from Negima, and Miss Golden Week from One Piece. Natsu Dragneel is voiced by Todd Haberkorn, the voice of Death the Kid from Soul Eater, Keisuke Takahashi from Initial D Funimation dub, and Kimberly from Full Metal Alchemist. Grey Fullbuster is voiced by Newton Pittman, who is the voice of Zwei, Z-W-E-I, Zwei, I think it's Zwei, from Phantom Requiem for the Phantom, and Panties from Eden of the East. Happy is voiced by Tia Ballard, who is the voice of Hibano from Dead Man Wonderland and Eris from Cat Planet Cuties. And rounding out the main 5 cast members is Urza Scarlet, who is voiced by Colleen Clinkerbeard, known for her roles as Makina from Dead Man Wonderland, Gohan from Dragon Ball Z, and Monkey D. Luffy from One Piece. Now, I could go into all the other characters in this series and who voices who and who's great for what, but I just don't physically have the time to literally go through the 15-20 people who make up the main cast of this series. It's a curse that Hiro Mashima does have with his series. Rave Master had the same problem, where the core group of 3 turned into like 12 by the end of the series. This is a core group of 5, which is ballooned out to like 20 people already, and these are 20 highly recurring characters. This isn't just like, for example, in One Piece, Buggy the Clown, who shows up periodically. These are characters that are in most arcs, like Elfman and Mira Jane and Levi and Lizana and Gajeel and Wendy are all really cool characters. Gajeel and Wendy are Dragon Slayers, the same as what Natsu is. I should have mentioned that earlier. So they've become really intricate to the main cast, which balloons the main cast out from a team of 5 to a team of 7, plus their cats. Charlie and Panther Lily on top of Happy. It's just a lot of characters for this series to have, but it's fantastic and I love it very, very much. There's no way to get around it. This is a fantastic series, and I do give it 8 straw hats out of 9 because it is so fantastic and amazing and very One Piece-like in a way. So definitely check out Fairy Tail if you haven't already done so. I'm Criddle, this has been This Is Fairy Tail, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side.